terrorist at large. American intelligence believes Osama bin Laden now has the resources to strike inside the United States. Why the worsening drought in the Northeast is a disaster for man and beast. And a big jury award for a woman who says the fen-phen diet drug combination damaged her health.
This is the CBS Evening News with Dan Rather.
Good evening. Dan is on assignment tonight. I'm John Roberts. We begin with a chilling picture of the threat of terrorism at our own front door. Tomorrow marks the first anniversary of the deadly U.S. embassy bombings in East Africa. Now, as CBS's Jim Stewart reports, the fugitive allegedly responsible for the attack is considered a greater threat to America than ever before.
U.S. intelligence sources say they have made a fundamental shift in their assessment of terrorist leader Osama bin Laden. Once confident that bin Laden had only enough resources to strike at targets overseas, like the East African embassies, which are still under repair, they now believe he has the money and people in place to strike within the continental United States as well. The sources say bin Laden has also accelerated a cat-and-mouse game with U.S. intelligence in recent weeks, first by leaking false targeting information to see how and who reports it back to the United States, and by taking advantage of eavesdropping American spy satellites by having his lieutenants use code language during recent phone conversations that is identical to the code they used in the weeks preceding last year's African bombings. That bin Laden would draw up a lengthy target list in the United States does not surprise Ken Katzman, a terrorist expert for Congress.
I believe he has a very substantial capability to strike inside the United States. Virtually the entire network that conducted the Trade Center bombing in '93 is now reporting to or looking to bin Laden for leadership. He could try to strike the New York Stock Exchange, the Federal Reserve, the Capitol, the White House, anywhere he thinks it would be high profile.
And it was by adding bin Laden to the FBI's 10 most wanted list that the U.S. may have actually increased the terrorist leader's own profile within the Arab world.
How much money does he have left?
Still approximately $300 million and possibly growing. And he's got some donations from Persian Gulf countries.
Still, it would be inaccurate to say that Osama bin Laden is stronger today than he was before the East African bombings. He's a marked man. The United States has already tried to kill him once with a cruise missile, and given the opportunity would do so again. The question now is who will drop their guard first, the terrorist millionaire leader or the country that he's declared a holy war on? Jim Stewart, CBS News, Washington.
Bin Laden is believed to be hiding in Afghanistan. President Clinton vowed today that the United States will prevail against terrorists. 12 Americans were among the 224 people killed in the embassy bombings. On the eve of the anniversary, security has been tightened at U.S. embassies around the world. The State Department has issued a warning to Americans overseas to guard against possible attacks tied to the anniversary. On the CBS Weather Watch tonight, the Northeast Mid-Atlantic drought has left all previous dry spell records in the dust. In 4 states, the drought is now the worst of the century, with the yearly rain total up to 1.5 feet below normal. CBS's Wyatt Anders has the dry facts on a season of misery down on the farm.
In the dust-dry mid-Atlantic, the August corn has withered into weeds. Not in 40 years of working here has Maryland farmer Mike Wilkham seen it like this.
Your highest plant right now is about knee-high.
Right.
How high should it be?
It should be up about like this right now.
It should be over our heads?
Right.
But corn is not Mike Wilkham's chief concern. He is a dairy farmer, and that withered corn was supposed to be food for his 200 cows. The drought, he says, is not a crop crisis, it's a livestock crisis.
I got to have the corn for feed my cattle, and I don't have half enough corn right now to feed my cattle this winter.
The impact of this drought on the livestock and dairy industries is about to hit hard because well over 90% of the corn and soybeans grown in America is fed to animals. A drought-caused shortage of grain will mean a shortage of animal feed.
And the reach of this drought is spreading. 10 states have now requested or are getting federal disaster relief, most of that in low-interest loans. But the president today signaled loans won't be enough. He appointed a cabinet-level task force for more ideas.
We must do more. It is our duty as a national community.
The Secretary of Agriculture today also urged Congress to add drought relief to the massive farm aid bill that's passed the Senate.
Any bill that finally emerges from Congress and is sent to the President must include a significant drought and disaster assistance component.
Back on Mike Wilkham's farm, he's already feeding his cows the winter supply of hay, a sign of why some farmers say loans won't do. They argue this time it will take cash to feed the livestock and recover from the worst mid-Atlantic drought in history. Wyatt Andrews, CBS News, Frederick County, Maryland.
While there is drought in the east, there are huge wildfires in the west. Nevada is seeing some of the worst of them, mostly ignited by lightning strikes. The Nevada fires have burned an area almost as big as Rhode Island, some 600,000 acres so far. The way some of the nation's top climate forecasters tell it today, it'll take tropical storms, even a hurricane, to provide enough drenching rains to put a dent in the drought. And they say, despite the almost dead calm in the hurricane season so far this year, just you wait.
The nation's foremost predictor of hurricanes is out with his latest forecast today, and the news isn't good. We can expect 14 named tropical storms this year, the same as in 1998, 9 of which will grow to become hurricanes. And 4 of those storms are predicted to become intense, dangerous hurricanes of Category 3 or above. This above-average season is due in part to the La Nina weather-making phenomenon, which continues to cool the waters of the eastern Pacific and creates fertile ground in the Atlantic for sustained and powerful tropical storms. And this year may be just a hint of what lies ahead, according to William Gray of Colorado State University, who makes the annual hurricane predictions.
Bill, what's going on out there that has prompted this prediction of a more active than average hurricane season?
Well, there's just a combination of a number of favorable atmospheric ocean factors that in past years, when they've come together like they have this year, have shown that we have very active seasons.
So far, the season has been pretty inactive. We've only seen one named storm, Arlene. It was a tropical storm, but you're cautioning against people being complacent just because there hasn't been much activity yet?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Yes, the seasons don't really crank themselves up, get started the middle of August or the 20th of August.
Are we entering a new era here, Bill, where we're going to see more storms and more intense hurricanes?
We think we're in this new era, and with it, we're likely to see hurricane spawn damage like we've never previously seen it. Not so much that we'll have more landfalling storms than we had in the 40s and 50s, but because there's so much more in harm's way now.
Bill Gray at Colorado State University. Thanks for being with us. Still ahead on tonight's CBS Evening News, Fen-Phen, a big product liability judgment against the makers of the diet drug combo. Inside Columbine High, after a facelift, the scars still run deep. And a real-life Dr. Doolittle who has done quite a lot.
Traveling through Arizona, we blew a front tire. It shot off the road, and I looked down at the ground. It is crawling with rattlesnakes.
It was unbelievable.
I pushed the OnStar button. Within seconds, the OnStar advisor pinpointed our location and sent a tow truck.
Called the paramedics.
Yeah, and kept talking, because we
hate snakes.
Yeah.
OnStar. During the OnStar Summer of Savings, get the OnStar phone-based system and installation at no extra charge when you prepay for a year of service. Call 1-800-OnStar-7.
Looking for a great-tasting fiber therapy that won't produce excess gas? Discover Citracel. Citracel's fiber won't ferment to produce excess gas, and people prefer the taste and texture of Citracel over Metamucil. Get effective relief without excess gas. Get Citracel.
My dentures always fit fine. I never thought of them as a problem until I saw the video of my son's wedding. It was then that I decided to try Fixodent.
Because Fixodent adjusts to the unique contours of your dentures and gums, forming a thin, powerful seal for a better hold than you ever thought possible.
It was like a whole new feeling, so snug and secure. For once, I actually forgot that I even wore dentures. So now, I like what I see.
Find out for yourself what it feels like to Fixodent and forget it.
When pain shakes your world, it's time for Bengay SPA with site-penetrating action. It targets relief at the site of pain, and it has a light, fresh scent. Bengay SPA. It feels like a whole new day.
On the CBS Market Watch, unemployment held steady in July, even as the red-hot U.S. economy churned out 310,000 new jobs, and average hourly earnings shot up 3.8%. That had Wall Street worrying again about inflation and higher interest rates. The Dow closed down 79 points, the Nasdaq fell 17. And which flavor do you favor? After 65 years with the same 5, Lifesavers is thinking about replacing pineapple either with watermelon or strawberry. A big money lost today in a Texas court for one of the nation's largest drug manufacturers. It's the case of a woman who claimed heart damage after using the so-called fen-phen diet drug combination. CBS's Elizabeth Caledon is here with the diet drug verdict, the first of its kind, and the legal and medical impact. Elizabeth?
John, a Texas jury awarded a woman named Debbie Lovett $23 million today and found the drug company 100% liable for her health problems. Attorneys for Debbie Lovett say their best evidence supported the argument that American Home Products spent its energy trying to suppress evidence that the diet drug Pondamin, half of the combination known as fen-phen, could cause heart valve damage.
They had teams of people whose sole job it was to try to minimize the warnings, resist strengthening the warnings at all costs, do whatever they could to convince the FDA that the warnings didn't need to be strengthened.
The drug was pulled from the market in September of 1997. Like millions of other women, Debbie Lovett took it for 6 months to lose weight. Her attorneys cite 3 studies from medical institutions to support her claim that the drug made her sick. But American Home Products today issued a statement saying there is simply no scientific study that has established a causal link between the use of Pondamin and the heart problems claimed by Mrs. Lovett. But the jury sided with Lovett completely and agreed with her charge that the company had put profits before the health of its customers.
There's one thing that American Home Products did well, and that was marketing surveys in trying to see how they could market this product and sell as much as possible. If they had put the same efforts into the safety studies, I don't think we'd be here today.
The case is likely to have far-reaching implications. While American Home Products says it will appeal, the company still faces more than 3,000 other lawsuits, including a class action case in New Jersey involving more than 90,000 women who took the diet drug. John?
Elizabeth Caledon, thanks. A new congressional study finds the United States is still the world's largest supplier of weapons, ahead of Germany and France. The U.S. sold $7 billion worth last year. The biggest buyers of arms are developing nations such as Saudi Arabia and Malaysia. Up next on the CBS Evening News, the truck stops here. New rules of the road on truckers and downtime.
Nancy will have to see from near to far almost 1,000 times today. Her eyes will focus on 40 labels, 60 charts, and 100 smiles. And in all that time, she'll never once think about the science that allows her to focus instantly at all distances. Nancy just knows that her Verilux lenses help her see better. And for her, that's a very comforting thought. Verilux, the comfort of better vision. For more information, call toll-free 1-800-VERILUX.
This is indeed a small miracle, a triumph over everyday arthritis pain, made possible by a remarkable medicine. Tylenol Arthritis Extended Relief. So effective even the newest arthritis prescription hasn't been proven to work better. And stomach safety no other brand of pain reliever can surpass. Miracle drug? Someone sure thinks so. Tylenol Arthritis. Take comfort in our strength.
Do you want to stop by Dave's after the movie?
Would you put your life on the line to change a flat? Each year, nearly 3,000 people die in roadside accidents. It's better to risk your rim than risk your life. Drive slowly to a safer area. Never attempt repairs on a narrow shoulder.
I'm okay.
For more safety tips, get this free book from Shell. Count on Shell.
Spray and Wash Advanced Stain Care penetrates faster than Shout and powers out those dirty sweat stains. So you can
let them go, let them play. Let them go with Spray and Wash.
Great meal. Uh-oh, gas pressure. What now?
What else? Gas X, with the most powerful medicine for fast relief. Nothing works faster.
Hey, want to go for ice cream?
Gas X, the power to fight gas fast.
We're learning more about yesterday's Alabama office shootings and a possible motive. Prosecutors say Alan Miller exchanged words with the first victim before killing him and another co-worker. He then allegedly went to another company that had laid him off and told the worker, quote, "I'm tired of your rumors about me," before killing him. A judge today ordered Miller held without bond. The U.S. government is signaling the first turn in decades in rules of the road for truck drivers. As CBS's Jim Axelrod reports, it's not about speed limits. It's about drivers in their semis driving semi-asleep.
In an absolutely positively has-to-be-there overnight world, these are the sights drivers fear most. Last year, 5,300 people were killed in accidents involving trucks. To cut that number, the federal government is now targeting sleepy truckers. As soon as next month, they'll unveil a plan to set new limits on daily driving hours.
I know that you can go to sleep behind the wheel because I've nodded off and then woke up and then I get off the road, you know. It happens.
Current rules allow truckers to drive 10 hours, take 8 hours off to rest, and then drive another 10, up to 60 hours behind the wheel in any 7-day period. Outdated and dangerous, says the government.
We're trying to work within the 24-hour clock and what the body tells us to come up with the right solution.
You watch. They're going to give us less time to drive, and we're going to be screwed.
At truck stops, where the answer to fatigue is often simply more coffee, they like change about as much as they like the government telling them what to do.
You cut our work hours, and then all you're doing is, instead of me making $150 a day, I'll be lucky if I make $50 a day.
The trucking industry says only about 2% of truck accident deaths are due to drowsy drivers, but agrees just 8 hours off isn't enough to be rested.
I'd say that if I was picking a number and there was a magic number for hours off, I'd say it would be 10 hours off.
But several reports suggest that wouldn't be enough for the government, that 14 hours a day would be more like it. The debate will be nothing if not new. Truck drivers haven't seen a single federal work rule change in more than 60 years. Jim Axelrod, CBS News, Dallas.
After a 4-year sleep break, Nicaragua's most active volcano chain, about 40 miles from Managua, is letting loose again, spewing fire, ash, lava, and gases up to 5 miles away. With 15 nearby communities at risk, more than 1,000 people were evacuated today. Coming up on the CBS Evening News, the new Columbine High, cleansing a crime scene in time for the new school year.
While paramedic Dave McLeod checked the equipment before the day's first call, someone else was on Realtor.com helping Dave's family search for their first home. Later, as he was racing to his 6th call, someone else was at the bank reviewing Dave's mortgage. And while Dave was helping deliver a healthy set of twins who couldn't wait for the hospital, someone else was delivering his cashier's check to the title company. You've got a life. We let you live it. We're Realtors. Real estate is our life.
Do you dare to be there? Everywhere? Can you expose your toes? Or do you hide them because of embarrassing nail fungus that turns nails colors, makes them thick or brittle? Well, now you can discover how it's possible to get healthier, more beautiful nails back. By calling this number, you'll receive a free video and learn about effective oral treatments your doctor has. This year, learn how to lose those shoes and love it. Then dare to be bare, because fungus-free nails are a bare necessity.
Whoa, these hungry kids are coming on strong.
Mom needs a big play to satisfy them.
Totino's Pizza Roll.
With Move, the great taste of pizza in bite-sized rolls.
Here they come.
Totino's Pizza Roll. Sensational.
Another big win for the home team.
My business runs on long hours and a leave. I can't settle for those pain relievers that quit too soon. Just 2 Aleve are strong enough to work all day. I used to need 8 Tylenol to do that. There's a tool for every job. For tough pain, it's Aleve.
I'm not a person who rushes into things until they're great. Like this new fabric spray, Resolve Fabric Refresher. It gets rid of odors safely and permanently, and dries faster than the leading brand. See, Resolve has this quick-drying spray that removes the toughest odors with a gentle mist. Your sofa's not only fresh-smelling, in minutes it's dry. New quick-drying Resolve Fabric Refresher. Why wait? It's in your laundry aisle now.
He admitted to slaying 4 women near Yosemite National Park, but today Cary Stayner pleaded not guilty to federal charges in one of the killings. Stayner has been charged with beheading a Yosemite naturalist last month. During questioning, police say he confessed to the crime and also admitted killing 3 tourists last February who were guests at the motel where he worked. Students at Colorado's Columbine High are getting ready to go back to school, back to the place where they watched their friends die and then ran for their own lives. While those horrible memories will never go away, school officials have tried to erase all physical signs of the tragedy, as Bob McNamara reports.
All new floor, all new painting on the walls.
Today, Columbine looks nothing like the crime scene it was even 2 months ago.
I felt right back at home again, like I hadn't even left the building. And it just looks better than it did before it.
The security cameras and self-locking doors are as new as the color scheme. All the bullet holes are gone.
This is the staircase that is entirely new.
Even the staircase, where students ran from the mayhem and several were found dead last April, has been replaced.
All evidence of anything that took place on that date is gone. And if it isn't gone and we find it today, it'll be gone tomorrow.
But the library, where 10 students were murdered and Patrick Ireland fell to the arms of rescuers, is now walled off by lockers.
We have not made a final decision at this time what will happen to the library.
Though the lockers of killers Eric Harris and Dylan Klebold are still here, they will not be used. And students anxious for school to start say they're wary.
I'm nervous just because I don't know how everyone's going to react, you know. Everyone's going to react differently, so.
If any educator was naive enough to believe that school shootings were the isolated problems of states like Mississippi, Kentucky, Arkansas, and Georgia, then the lesson of Littleton is no American school is immune.
I think it's a reality of the 21st century that schools are different.
After a series of threats ended the Allen, Texas school year early last spring, metal detectors are in doorways now. Backpacks are searched if they're not see-through backpacks. And what more security guards don't see, hidden cameras do.
We believe the lives of students and staff are of tantamount of importance. You cannot overreact when it comes to their lives.
Well, if they're going to come home breathing the next day, I don't have no problem with it.
It will cost more than $3 million to repair and restore Columbine High. It's an investment not in locks or in labor, but in life. Bob McNamara, CBS News, Littleton, Colorado.
In Oregon, the spent nuclear reactor of the largest U.S. atomic power plant ever to be shut down was loaded onto a barge today, encased in concrete and steel. It's headed right through the heart of Portland, the first time a commercial reactor this big and this radioactive is passing through a major U.S. city. Final resting place, burial at the Hanford Nuclear Facility in Washington State. Still ahead on the CBS Evening News. Monkey see, monkey do? We'll see in a minute or two.
I want to have some sticks for our back.
5 things to consider about the Chevy Impala. It's new. It starts under $20,000. It's designed, engineered, and built to be carefree. It's at your Chevy dealer now. It's received the highest frontal crash rating possible. 5 stars from the federal government. The new Chevy Impala. As USA Today put it, it's a lot more car than you imagine, at a lower price than you expect. The new Chevy Impala.
Let's go for a drive.
Courage, something shared by countless Americans. Those who risk their lives, those who battle serious illness. When I was diagnosed with prostate cancer, I was primarily concerned with ridding myself of the cancer. But secondly, I was concerned about possible post-operative side effects like erectile dysfunction, ED, often called impotence. You know, it's a little embarrassing to talk about ED, but it's so important to millions of men and their partners that I decided to talk about it publicly. And after all, it can be associated with many conditions, including prostate surgery, high blood pressure, diabetes, or even smoking. And the point I want to make is there are many treatments available for ED, so my advice is get a medical checkup. It's the best way to get educated about ED and what can be done to treat it. It may take a little courage, but I've always found that everything worthwhile does.
Mom, the dog. It's just laying on the bun. That
dog needs a new trick.
Beat the cold bun blues with Pillsbury Crescent Dogs. Just wrap them and bake them.
Aren't these dogs fun?
Good dog.
Got heartburn caused by acid reflux? Only Gaviscon forms a soothing protective barrier that keeps acid down. Pepsid AC and Zantac 75 can't do that. Gaviscon, it helps keep acid down where it belongs.
There are few things more beautiful this time of year than the sight of a small white sphere streaking across the night sky. Here then, a thing of beauty.
McGuire pops one into...
That, of course, the big red star known as Mark McGuire, launching his 500th home run, reaching that milestone faster than anyone before in just 5,487 at-bats. If you've ever tried to learn a foreign language, you know how difficult it can be. Tonight, Byron Pitts introduces you to a couple of students who once knew not a word of English. Now, thanks to modern technology and old-fashioned hard work, they're conversing, well, almost like natives.
Hello to the visitors. Would you go say hello to the visitors? Go say hello.
They are neither shy nor quiet.
Oh, that's very nice. Thank you. We have Kanzi and Pambanisha, two bonobos.
Chimps with an attitude and a vocabulary.
Well, that's a woo, woo, woo. It's a kind of an announcement that something exciting is going to happen.
It's a language linked to a computer keyboard with symbols and a synthetic voice.
This is good. This is peas. This is later. This is soap. This is give.
Apple. Good. Good.
Is it good?
Apple.
Their facial expressions and gestures and glances are more human-like than those of common chimpanzees.
Researcher Sue Savage Rumba has been with Kanzi almost since birth, part of a revolutionary 19-year experiment to teach these animals to understand language and communicate.
Could you carry the television outdoors, please?
Now they've learned to recognize symbols and then construct sentences by pressing keys in the right order.
M&Ms are at Flat Rock, outdoors. That's where we find them. You think that's what...
Kanzi and Pambanisha clearly can't talk, at least not yet. But Rumba is convinced they are communicating, each with language and cognitive skills equal to a 4-year-old child.
We've now given them, with this new panel, and we intend to add more words, the ability to actually structure longer sentences themselves. It will take time. They do have that cognitive capacity, and they can learn to do that. Is the car fine? Sit down.
Key.
You need a key?
Car.
For the car? I have the car keys. I think they're out there in the car. All right, let's go.
Now that they've unlocked the keys to language, researchers hope to take these chimps down a road where no animal has been before and turn those grunts into real words. Byron Pitts, CBS News, Atlanta.
And that's the CBS Evening News. For Dan Rather, I'm John Roberts in New York. Have a great weekend. Good night.
For news 24 hours a day, CBS.com on the internet and on our interactive partner, America Online, at keyword CBS News. What are these kids at camp in Maine doing that their parents never could? Making friends with the enemy. 60 Minutes, Sunday.
Day trading exposed. What would you do if you lost a fortune in seconds? Monday, surprising results of a first-ever investigation on the CBS Evening News with Dan Rather.
Women in stress. How to relax. Tomorrow on Saturday morning. Experience. CBS News.
Coming up on News Channel 5 at 6, Bill Purcell will soon be Nashville's mayor, and today he got the first look at his new home. We'll take you on the grand tour.
Plus, it's the only way for her handicapped son to get around tonight. We'll show you why this woman is fighting to keep this van.
And a construction accident at the Saturn plant sends 3 people to the hospital. We'll tell you what happened when the news begins in 30 seconds.
Hey there, this is your Colonel talking. Now, I got something here that's downright fun.